Hi, Filter here. Um, this is one of the videos I kind of wanted to make a while ago. Then I was kind of reminded after looking at a guy named Fiction Rant, his Star Trek versus Star Wars critique. Here's something that I wanted to put in there. You'd have Vader or somebody or Palpatine, but here's the funny part: the only ones that could really outclass them per se would be again Charlie Evans or Q, Trelane. But I kind of wanted to bring it down a little bit less. I think to a roughly even pattern. Palpatine and Vader, or really Palpatine, versus Gary Mitchell from the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before in Star Trek. Hmm. Okay, the breakdown is very simple between Palpatine and Mitchell. Both could win a battle, both could lose a battle. It's and their one weakness would be arrogance. But bear with me. All right, let's look at Palpatine. The Force. Brought him on since it was retconned as midichlorians and all that other fun, happy horse stuff. Surprisingly, if you're in a Federation starship and you detect somebody with generating a field, they'll find a way to cancel that field, thus making the Force kind of. But again, this is back to Gary Mitchell versus Palpatine. Palpatine, the Force, from what the movies have shown, can give you almost unlimited ability to control matter on a sort of physical level. On a physical level, you can pull down a ship, you can move a ship, that kind of thing. The only difference is it's more of a line of sight thing when you look at it. It seems like you have to see the person or see the object to do it. It's not exactly like it's going to happen. And of course, the Force does give you clairvoyance, but not telepathy. And this is key. Force lightning, which is basically a Jedi or a Sith channeling energy. It's not directly coming from them. And this is where things, and I'm going to have to make this comparison because you're going to have to maybe watch the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before as I explain this. So, again, it allows you clairvoyance, but not telepathy. It works on a more empathic sort of thing. You know, your feelings give you away. And it allows you for speed and somewhat some decent durability. Reflexes are increased a thousandfold, or I wouldn't say a thousandfold, but it's increased. Like I guess maybe 5 times the normal rate of an average human. All right. So we see this. Now, here's Gary Mitchell. Gary Mitchell's psionic powers are were cosmically charged. They were activated cosmically. He has can do mind over matter, but also on a molecular level, and this would be key, very key. If you ever seen the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, he disintegrated a part of a cell that he was kept in and literally transformed the desert area into an oasis with running water. You got to watch the episode, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's on a molecular level that he was able to do that, making him extremely powerful. Secondly, his telepathy is active. It's not passive, it's active. He does not need line of sight to find somebody. Again, if you watch the episode, he knew that Kirk and Spock were looking at him as he turned to the camera as he was rapidly reading all the things in the ship's library. As did, let's see. Oh, geez. Yeah, as he did that. Not to mention, he used cable wires to choke one of his own crewmen while he was in the cell, out of sight, lying out of sight. Now, Should these two meet, first of all, we know Palpatine would try to do maybe a force choke. Mm, not necessarily. You'd have to literally blow his head off to do that because he could. Remember, Gary Mitchell actually in the episode shut his own body functions off and was able to turn it back on again, making him, again, very, very dangerous. Now, the only way for Palpatine to win is for Mitchell to lose sight on who Palpatine is. If he thinks, oh, some guy with some telekinetic power can shoot lightning and all this other stuff, think about it. He's going to more or less be, um, oh, he'll be taken by surprise. And this is just on a one-on-one battle, just a one-on-one battle. He could probably do that, and then possibly if he has a lightsaber, Palpatine has a lightsaber, he could finish the job. And I suggest he keep a lightsaber on hand if he was around Gary Mitchell. He would sense him coming. His clairvoyance would sense him coming. That would be Palpatine's advantage. However, with Gary Mitchell, he would say, "Oh, so he knew I was coming." He could read his mind again from a distance. It's kind of impressive when you think about it. So, let's say he uses force lightning. Now, this is where things get tricky. As I said, it's channeling lightning. From all the things from what I understand from canon, it's channeling lightning. Um, Gary Mitchell took a full phaser blast to his chest, and he was able to just look down with a smile, like, "Are you kidding me?" I don't know whether he absorbed the energy, but I'm going to take a wild gamble that he just, what do you call it, made it, he just shielded himself. And the only thing that really took Gary Mitchell out was another Esper who used psionic lightning. It's not force lightning, it's psionic lightning. It's basically somebody with the same cosmic triggering that he has. And that was the only way to weaken him. Keep in mind, weaken him. Not to mention, now, again, with Palpatine, he would have to be unrelenting in hurling things at him. And of course, Mitchell would have to be unrelenting in deflecting. He would try to wear him down. But that might be a problem also for Palpatine. He could be worn down too. I mean, Jedi and Sith, they're not invincible. They're capable of doing some wild crap, but they're not invincible. Now, and again, it would basically have to mean that he would have to do something like a force choke, just relentless, hard to do it, and then while he's doing it, take a lightsaber and finish the job. Now, Gary Mitchell, on the other hand, this is where things get really, really fun. He would know that he's about to do some force lightning crap. And with a wave of his hand, all he has to do is turn Palpatine's robes into metal, aluminum. This would immobilize him completely. This, of course, will shock the hell out of Palpatine. And from that point on, he could just literally telekinetically crush him in the metal robes. Again, he's able to change matter on a molecular level, but not as opposed to Jedi on a physical level. Moving an object from point A to point B is one thing. Changing that object from lead to gold, whole different ballgame. Or in the case of Gary Mitchell, he literally created a whole cloth, water, plants, vegetation in the whole niner. He just did it out of whole cloth. So it would not be too much of a stretch to transform Palpatine's robes into metal, thus keeping him from trying to use Force lightning. However, Palpatine could, again, it is the Force after all, he could mentally do whatever he can in that state if he's immobilized that way. Or if it's in just metal or metal fiber or something like that, he could still try to do something. And again, he could probably break out his lightsaber, but it wouldn't take too much for deflection to actually even disintegrate Palpatine's lightsaber. Again, Palpatine would have to come in fast and hard to take out Gary Mitchell. And in his arrogance, thinking, "Ha, you can't stop me," he could get screwed up. And the same thing goes for Gary Mitchell. He might think, "I'm a god. What can anybody do?" And then he's dead. Okay, like I said, I just thought I want to put this out there. This was something that was on my mind for a couple of years now, ever since the first video I did. So, oh, and one last thing to fiction rant. There is one way to take out the Death Star in the Star Trek universe. And keep in mind, let's say we know that it's too slow. The cannon is too slow to shoot at starships and stuff like that, and they can take it from a distance. All they need to do is find out, and plus with subspace, and they'll figure something out. If they blow up, let's say, Beta Z, okay, ships that are in the area have known this. They get on subspace, they will alert everybody on every capital planet, whichever ships are orbiting, they're going to be ready. Even if it shows up around Earth, all those starships will be ready to blast the emitters of the Death Star. Plain and simple. And since they ain't got any kyber crystals in that universe or that galaxy, it's going to be messed up for them. So, like I said, that's the way I see it. Because if the excuse me, so really, really, like I said, they would have to blast the emitters of the super planet destroying cannon, and thus letting, basically making the Death Star useless. Or in some cases where they know that's the firing weapons, because again, in the Star Trek universe, they said fire at their weapons array. They'll know that that's the super weapon, and they will fire at that thing. Not to mention, probably just transport a bunch of torpedoes into the into the area where the emitters are. So, just thought I'd put that in there. Anyways, like this video, rate this video, like it, thumbs up it. Leave any comments below if you have any discussions. And until then, I'm Filter, and I'm out.